Hi, welcome to Mom Talk. I'm Andrea.
I'm Beth, and we are both moms, and we work for the SmartSocial team doing some of the research and working on our website to help other moms and teachers learn about social media and how to help keep our kids safe online. So we come on Mom Talk every week just to chat about what we see in our research and what we're experiencing as moms with kids who want to be on social media. And actually today, Andrea, this is more about me than my kids. I went on Facebook this morning and I almost gave myself a spoiler of The Amazing Race. My husband and I watch it. We've been following it all season. We didn't get to watch it last night. I don't want to know who wins, but it almost spoiled it for me.
Man, I'm growing up. You would either have to physically record a show, right?
On
With
VHS.
Yes, yeah. Your VHS tape, or then just use a DVR. But you didn't have to worry about anyone spoiling it on social media or hearing from it, on the internet. You just went through your day, and if anyone started to talk about it, you could just be like, no, stop.
Yeah. I remember turning off the car radio in the morning because everybody would talk about the latest game or whatever show was on. And I almost did it to myself, which I have loved following the Holdernesses on Facebook because they've posted about everything the day after the episodes come out. My bad. I shouldn't have gone there. I shouldn't have looked. But you know what sucked me in is there was a really cute picture of my kids that came up in Facebook memories. Yeah, Facebook knows how to suck us in with my cute kids. And then I scrolled social media. So anyways, I didn't see it. I didn't click on it. I caught myself before. So I will watch it tonight, and then it won't be a spoiler anymore.
And then you can venture back out safely into the world of social media.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right. So joking aside, I had an email from a mom that was looking at our cell phone and social media agreement course. And we recently made that course completely free. We've tried offering it as a special over the holidays, and then we locked it down for only our VIP members for a while. And the more our team discussed it, we've decided that really we want families to have this type of social media agreement, and starting with the template that we have and the videos that help parents talk with kids about it as a family, it just helps everybody. So we got an email from Anna. I'm going to read what she said. She said, my son asked for social media. So my friend mentioned that she had her son sign a contract. She went to Google and searched for a social media agreement, and the SmartSocial one came up, which is great. That makes us very excited that we come up in Google searches. And as I was reading her email, I thought, you know what? She has a really great friend there that knows about social media, that knows about creating an agreement, which is just a parenting tip in general, I think. And I responded and I said, hey, Anna, you have a great friend. Go tell her thank you. Buy her a cup of coffee, because that's a great place to start. And I think a lot of moms wish that they had a friend like that would give them advice.
I totally agree. I've got that friend that I can sit at the playground with. She's got older boys. And I think, okay, paint me a picture of what I'm going to expect over the next couple of years, right? As we enter this teenage boydom that I didn't experience. So yeah, I think in the social media world, we can be that friend to all the moms and dads out there. Let us give you some tips on how to navigate this world of social media.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is that there's so much out there. And I feel like as parents, I'm almost one step behind my kids because I don't see what they're doing every day at school, and I can't hear the conversations that they're having with their friends. So we hope that SmartSocial, that our team can be that friend to other moms and help you be one step ahead of the kids, or at least when the kids do come home and you've already established a great relationship with your kids and they are talking to you about these things. If you don't know about it, you know where to go to find out about it. And we hope that's smartsocial.com.
Yes. And if you can't find what you're looking for, shoot us an email. Pretend it's, texting your best friend, like, what do I do here? Let us know, and we'll do the research and we'll find out and we'll share it with you.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of our content comes from what we hear from parents. Josh and I were on a call earlier this week with an educator from one of our partner schools, and she was awesome that she said, let me show you what I see and how I'm using this. That's exactly what we need more of. So we've made changes right away to the website, to a couple of our most popular app guides, just based on how a teacher was using it and what kind of problems she was trying to address in her school with her students. So yeah, we love feedback. We want to hear more. You can go to smartsocial.com/contact, or I'll throw it out there. Beth@smartsocial.com is my direct email address. We say that we read every email message, and we truly do. We tell people to respond to our newsletters all the time.
We want to make it as good as possible for you all to use.
So let's take a break. I just mentioned our newsletter, but let's hear from Josh about how parents listening to this can get subscribed to our newsletter and what you'll get out of subscribing to that.
You're listening to the SmartSocial.com podcast. Each week, we help parents and educators keep students safe on social media so they can someday shine online. Make sure you join our newsletter to get the most up-to-date social media alerts at smartsocial.com/newsletter. Every Tuesday and Thursday, we send out the latest social media app resources that help parents and educators to navigate this challenging landscape with their students. Now let's get to the program.
So what are you working on this week, Andrea?
Well, I have a question for you. Do you like spicy foods?
I love spicy food.
Do your kids like spicy foods?
Sometimes. If they don't know it's going to be spicy before they eat it and they say they like it. If they know it's going to be spicy, they won't even try it.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah. My kids are kind of the same way. They don't really like spicy food, but every now and again they'll try it. My son's venturing out into like hot wings because he's become like a wing guy, but overall they're not super spicy. So have you heard of the one chip challenge?
We talked about it a little bit last week on the podcast, and I still can't believe that this is a thing on social media.
I know. And it's by this company, Pocky, and they make a whole bunch of different chips, different levels of spice, but they are the ones who have come up with this challenge. And it started, I guess, in 2016. And now they've got their own hashtag and they want you to post your video on social media. So they're really jumping on the social media challenge bandwagon, if you will, and trying to spread the news about their product that way. So the whole idea of it is you buy one single chip. So it's a package with one chip in it. And I've watched a lot of videos of these, and it doesn't even, to me, I like spicy foods, but like a nice flavored spice, they don't even look appetizing. They're like black, like the actual chip. Anyway, so you've got one chip and it's covered and made from two of the hottest peppers in the world, the Carolina Reaper and the scorpion pepper. And they are like over almost 2 million or over 2 million SHU, which is the Scoville heat unit. And compared to, I think a jalapeno is like 3,000. Sometimes you can get like a fairly spicy jalapeno, I think. But so the challenge is to eat this chip, and you see people wearing gloves in the videos because you're not supposed to touch your face after touching the chip because it's that spicy. So you eat the whole chip, and then you're not supposed to eat or drink anything for at least 5 minutes after. And the idea is to video yourself doing the challenge and post that online. And there are like whole families that are doing it together, and kids at school taking them to school, which is kind of the reason that we decided to look into it, is because a bunch of kids in California at a school did it. And at least 3 of them ended up in the hospital.
Oh, wow.
Yes, because, you can imagine when you eat certain spicy foods, your digestion gets a little messed up. And so the effects of this can be nausea and vomiting, diarrhea, and all of that can lead to ending up in the hospital if it gets bad enough. So it ends up this fun little challenge can be a bit on the dangerous side.
Well, it is good to know, because if a parent sees a Pocky one chip show up on their Amazon account, it's a good time to have a conversation about this is more than just a chip and a snack after school. Yeah. There's something more to it than just the food.
Yes, there is. And the reactions that you see online, it's just people like looking visibly in pain. Yeah. So honestly, kids, watch those and look at it and say, do I want to do this? Does this look fun? No.
Yeah.
Or if you do, be there with your kid and monitor them after they've eaten it to see how bad their reactions are.
Yeah. Even our doctor recently mentioned how she saw kids in the ER with really bad constipation and digestive issues from eating spicy chips. And they wanted her to just fix them. And she said, how about you fix your diet? And now it was a whole conversation about you can't just eat one food, but it's popular. That's what everybody's eating. Well, they're eating other things too. You just don't know it. I think having the conversation and knowing what these challenges are, helping kids identify peer pressure, because if they're seeing it at school and then so-and-so did it and it was cool and we're talking about doing it all together and Mom, I'm going to be the only one who doesn't do it. Have those conversations with your kids about the long-term consequences. Maybe they'll be uncomfortable at school if they're the only ones not doing it for one day, but then they're going to move on to something next the next day. And those kids might have heartburn. They might have diarrhea. They might have to go to the hospital because they're so dehydrated. Maybe that peer pressure for a day and feeling uncomfortable that you were the only one that didn't do it is worth it. And if that's something that your family chooses to do, just monitor it together. Do it as a family. Don't let your kids do it behind the bleachers at school. Does that still exist?
I think it does. I think that will always exist.
Yeah, just monitor, have that conversation. Keep the kids safe and healthy. That's what we all want.
Definitely. I 100% agree.
Oh, thank you for researching that. Thanks for watching all the videos of people eating weird things. Let's talk about what's coming up next week. So I was super excited about one of our topics that we are updating that we have that's pretty popular about good acts that teens are doing, especially using social media to do those acts. We reached out to a whole lot of different sources, organizations that focus on teens doing good work. And it's just been so uplifting, which I know I definitely needed after the last few weeks of some of these tough topics. But just to see how teens are using social media in good ways is so much fun. So I'm excited to put that out, and we'll talk about it more next week.
Also, in the next couple of weeks, we are getting ready to put out a guide for Reddit. We're doing all the research now and creating a great app guide for parents and educators and students. There's a lot to Reddit. And so really I'm delving in there and picking out the best tips to share with everybody.
Yeah, and you and I had a really great conversation this week that I think others need to hear. We debated, is Reddit an app? Is it a website? What do we call Reddit? And it's both, because I put Reddit on the Android. I ran into a challenge there that I thought I had deleted all of the parental controls that we had set a couple weeks ago. There was one more that I didn't know about. So we're going to add that to our Android guide too, about Google Play having some parental controls in there too.
Great.
Anyway, so it's both. It's a website and an app.
Mhm.
I told you this morning that I don't really consider myself a Reddit user, but because I Google questions, Reddit comes up a lot and there's people that are answering my questions. So I read it.
Yeah.
So I think maybe a thought process for parents, how you use Reddit in your life, how our kids might use Reddit, what's safe, what's not.
Yeah, it's interesting with Reddit. Anyone can actually read the site and use the site without being a logged in user. So right there's just one little warning for your parents.
So good for parents to know. And we are taking our time to go through everything that we can and answer as many questions as we can for parents, specifically about how kids use it and how to keep kids safe on Reddit.
Yep.
Cool. And then yesterday I started getting emails from Discord that they are updating their community guidelines and some of their privacy.
Okay.
One of the things that they have been talking about is helping users understand the difference between public and private discussion boards. So I am looking at that difference and how some users don't understand that and how Discord is helping users understand that, and really why it's important for users to understand what's a private conversation and what's a public conversation. I think in general, we all need to think about that in social media and our lives.
It's interesting because we think we want to protect our privacy, but at the same time, private could also mean bad things if you're, talking about a private chat room or private messaging.
Yeah, and I see Discord brought up on a lot of mom social media groups of asking whether it's safe for kids. So we will be updating that with these newest community guidelines. They go into place at the end of the month, but we are going to take our time going through those new additions as well. And they even call it the legalese of Discord, that how many of us click I accept on how many apps or websites a day and don't really read through the legalese and all that information. So Andrea, you and I are going to look at that and try to break it down and help other moms understand what it means and help moms help their kids understand what it means when they're on that.
Great. Well, speaking of parents, we are anxiously awaiting for the Instagram parental controls to be released. They said back at the end of the year last year that they would be doing a release of their first real parental controls in March of 2022. So we're waiting to update that page with all of the new information that'll be out there.
They've made some really big promises. So we'll see how it helps our kids. That's the goal, help our kids.
Yes. Hopefully it'll be out very soon.
So speaking of helping our kids, I'm really excited to see how today's podcast editing comes together. I'm really excited to do it because my daughter's grandpa leader for Girl Scouts last week did a digital editing badge. which is amazing that he is teaching our kids how to use technology and how to do all these things. It's what he loves doing. So now he gets to teach the girls this. And it's amazing that he's doing it during cookie season. But yeah, so she came home and was super excited about this project and said, I have to make a video. Let's edit something. Can I use the dummy phone? No, you cannot use the dummy phone. Let's sit down at the computer and do this the right way. It was so much fun going through this software that we found to edit it. And she taught me. So we've been playing with it a little bit. And my 12-year-old Girl Scout taught me a lot.
Good. That's great. Look at those Girl Scouts being inspiring.
I have noticed I've spent a lot of time on YouTube this week. My screen time report has had a lot of videos on YouTube, but it's for work. It's all a good cause.
Yeah, that's right. And it can be quite the rabbit hole though, can't it?
Yep. Cool. It was great chatting with you this week, Andrea.
You too. We'll see you guys again next week.
Thank you for listening to the SmartSocial.com podcast with this week's topics from Beth and Andrea. If you enjoyed the Mom Talk discussion that we had today about all things social media from a mom's perspective, we invite you to join the SmartSocial.com VIP program. As a very informed parent VIP member, you will learn about the dangers and benefits of social media for your kids and get tips every week to keep your family safe online, and most importantly, to teach your students how to shine online. We have over 130 detailed app guides that cover apps like TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, and 100 plus apps you might not have heard of, but your students may have visited or downloaded. Find out more and join today at smartsocial.com/VIP. Please remember to rate, subscribe, and review so we can continue to help more parents and educators just like you. I'm your host, Josh Oakes. As always, remember to keep it light, bright, and polite. We'll see you on the next episode. Have a great day.